Hello, trading has closed on the May 21st, 2014. I'm Jeffrey Tennant. I didn't have a call for the market today, but let's look at what the mejt system said during the day. This is the chart from the software, which will be available very soon. There was a mejt support resistance level from yesterday, and that defined today's low. The software said we had a gap up. It said here, ultimately higher prices would print, which they did. It said this move was false, it would retrace, which it did. It said these moves were all false and would retrace, which they did. It gave a number of targets, all of which were hit. And it said after this time the market was free to escape this range. And all that worked. If there were any unfilled targets, there'd be a white number right here, but there aren't, and that tells us mejt doesn't have a call for tomorrow. When mejt doesn't have a call, I'm forced to rely on other stuff, which I don't like to do, but here goes. This is a pattern I've talked about previously called a diamond on stilts. It's really a half of a diamond on stilts. It can be the upper half or the lower half. Typically, at the origin of the left stilt, there is support which holds the first time. Here, instead of support, we had resistance. You can't win them all. We had a stilt here, a diamond here, another stilt. Typically, you'd find resistance at the origin of the stilt, which is here. We now have another stilt. This interruption in the stilt doesn't ruin the pattern, but I don't see it every time. And another stilt here. Here's your half of a diamond. You should get resistance at the origin of the stilt. It should hold the first time, but the second time it should continue higher. That's what's happening. Now what's going to happen in the future? This is a stilt. I think we're forming the left part of a diamond. I think eventually we'll go up, hopefully into the 1890s, as I want to, and then form the right half of the diamond and then have a stilt-like move down. And when we go through these targets, it could be a very ugly drop. Now, where is resistance coming in? Well, here's a stilt, here's a diamond, the upper half of a diamond, see? And here's the stilt. So you can look at a larger diamond on stilts here. And the origin is about here. So, if that interpretation is correct, this first challenge of the origin of the left stilt should hold. So we're going to probably sell off a little here. I'd like us to go higher, but we don't really have to. I'd like us to go into the 1890s. Now there are other ways to look at this pattern. This is what Investors Business Daily calls a cup with an upsloping handle. When you have a cup and the handle slopes up, like we have a cup here, and the handle sloping up, it's not a good sign. Typically the low of the cup is undercut. When you have the same pattern here and it's sloping up, eventually it usually collapses. Now when you look at the other scenario, you have a cup and the handle retracing higher instead of going in the same direction. That's the kind of pattern which leads to a sustainable move. Cup, handle. This is the handle sloping the correct way towards the cup for the move to stick. Here's your cup, handle sloping the wrong way for the move to stick. So a big drop should be coming. I hope we get to the 1890s first. But based on this pattern, we could stop here. I don't think we will, but it's possible. As far as the mejt system is concerned, it doesn't have a call for tomorrow, but I'd love to see this failed 1894.55 plus target print, even though it doesn't have to if we're near a major change in trend. And that's today's call.